Good evening. There are growing signs from Westminster that Birmingham Airport may get a second runway sooner than anticipated. The Davis Commission, which looked at how the UK needs to expand its airports, initially suggested one by 2050.
But now the author of that report says with HS2 linking Birmingham to the capital, a second runway here is an interesting option. It's all linked with the government decision to expand either Heathrow or Gatwick, which will be announced tomorrow. In a moment, we'll hear from our political correspondent, Alison Mackenzie. But first, our business correspondent, Mark Goff, weighs up Birmingham's chances.
A Chinese Hainan Airlines plane landing at Birmingham Airport's newly extended runway. It was lengthened to take more long-haul flights. And in this post-Brexit world of chasing trade outside Europe, it now seems it was a wise move to extend its one runway. But could a second runway, or expansion of the existing airport, now be more likely? This man, Howard Davis, who led the commission into how UK's airports need to expand, says that with HS2 coming, Birmingham is now a more interesting option for granting a second runway. Initially, he suggested one by 2050, part of the country's aviation strategy, which includes a new runway either at Heathrow or Gatwick. That announcement's expected tomorrow. But ITV News understands that on Wednesday, the government will make a major announcement too about Birmingham Airport.
First of all, it puts Birmingham centre stage to the national aviation strategy, which is what we've always wanted. But it definitely moves them up the pecking order. Obviously, Birmingham Airport now immediately could offer some increased capacity to London and the southeast, but also the wider economy. It could possibly start rivaling Munich Airport in the next 10 years.
I think it's great news for the region, and I think it's sort of reflective of the renaissance that we've seen and felt that's been going on in the region over the last couple of years. Obviously, the Davis report came out, Birmingham was mentioned, but maybe not as prominently as we would have liked. But better late than never. So no, it's certainly good news.
Europe accounts for 40% of our exports. The rest of the world, 60%. An expanded Birmingham Airport, attracting flights from around the world, is an attractive option.
The Heseltine report said that if you increase the number of long-haul flights going into Birmingham Airport, it would probably increase the number of jobs over a 5-year period by about 243,000. Studies in the United States suggest the number of long-haul flights you increase can reduce the manufacturing cost by about 10%. But if you have daily flights to places such as Dubai, India, China and the west coast of America, wherever you're going to have those flights to, you can treble your exports.
HS2, which will put Birmingham Airport about 39 minutes away from the capital, appears to have been a game changer for Howard Davis. Tomorrow the government will announce which London airports will get a new runway. Soon after that, Birmingham Airport will know its place in the government's plan. Mark Goff, ITV News.
Well, Alison Mackenzie is our correspondent in Westminster. Alison, how is Birmingham likely to feature in the announcement tomorrow?
Well, I'll just look into my crystal ball here. No, really, we will find out tomorrow the exact details. I think it's all about the announcement tomorrow, then looking forward to the future, because capacity is growing far quicker than was first anticipated. This is the mighty tome of the Howard Davis Commission's report, and it does mention Birmingham as a possibility to count with that extra capacity needed. And it's being talked up tonight by Conservative MEP for the West Midlands, Daniel Dalton.
Let's be honest, people are going to want runways in London. I personally think we need to get a runway at Heathrow, and we probably also need to be looking at one at Gatwick, but that doesn't mean that we can't increase capacity at Birmingham as well and put Birmingham in the mix. Long term, people are going to fly more, we're going to have many more flights, we're going to need to be talking about this question for the next 20, 30, 40 years into the future, and Birmingham will be close enough with HS2 to be in that mix.
And a lot of the talk now is of this post-Brexit world, how that impact on the economy. Mark mentioned in his report that much more now looking to outside of the EU. Well, on his feet today, asking the questions, was the Black Country MP, James Morris.
In the last year alone, there's been a 46% increase in foreign direct investment into the Black Country. Would the Secretary of State agree with me that we need to do all we can to take advantage of the devolution settlement in the West Midlands in the context of the Midlands engine in order to drive growth of trade and investment into the West Midlands from around the world?
The key word there, around the world, and that would depend on greater capacity at Birmingham Airport. We'll know if the airport features when the Secretary of State for Transport gets to his feet at 12:30. The subcommittee meets, chaired by Theresa May, first in the morning. Will we get a mention? We'll be looking.
Alison, thank you.
From today.